should be at the top of the leaderboard, and we just talked about it. We were like, where's Stompy and Shinky? Like we're used to seeing, but maybe after this game, things are going to change. But the Heavy Snipey coming in. Heavy Snipey?
Snipey, yeah, absolutely. Snipey coming through. Now, don't forget, they're also at 66 points. We've seen 3 duos now with that point value. And look at this. Stompy's got to chain together these eliminations. Shinken is down, but it's okay. Stompy's been in positions like this.
Position. Yeah. Wie? Ah, mein Tyler, Lust Minecraft zu spielen? Ja. Jetzt wenn ich den großen Burger gekillt habe. Oh. Ich bin aber voll in Fortnite-Steuerung. Also. Nee, Disk, ich hab keinen Bock auf Disk reinlegen. Kennt ihr überhaupt? Hey, Philipp, kennst du bitte? Kennst ich auch bald.
Noch am Weg, Digga.
Bin noch an ein Video dran. Ich komme auch bald. Bin noch an ein Video dran. Okay.
Na, warte. Der Part ist
ganz genug sind eigentlich deine Hauptsprüche.
Na, warte, dann bleib hier.
Was sind deine Hauptsprüche, Schnauzke? Aber ich weiß gar nicht mehr, wo Minecraft ist.
Und nicht. Ja, komm schon. Oh Mann.
Ich finde die Disk von Minecraft nicht.
Was ist das denn manchmal für
Ich finde die Disk. Ich finde die Disk.
Ja,
ich finde die Disk
Junge,
von
was ist das denn, die Leute auf mir rum? Ey, wo kommt der Bastard her, Junge? Was ist denn von so einer Blumenton? Auf Level 100 schwitzen, Junge. Bastardwälzer.
Sorry, Philipp, ich kann leider nicht Minecraft spielen, weil ich irgendwie die CD nicht finde. Oder meine Mama hat es weggeschmissen, aber es ist trotzdem noch auf der Fix wieder. Dann die CD hieß. Ja, tschüss. Dann ohne dich, tschüss. Nein, nee, da habe ich gleich nicht keinen Bock mehr in der Party zu bleiben. Was soll ich tun, wenn ich die Disk nicht finde? Ich habe aber Angst, meine Mama aufzuwecken.
Tyler.
Ja.
Bist du schlau?
Mhm.
Auch.
Ja.
Falsche Anverteilung. Wrong. Völlig falsch.
Aha. Das ist richtig. Nicht dumm. Wie?
Ja, also nein, das war
Zu schlecht.
Ich hab direkt auch meiner bekommen.
Hast du keinen Bock zu Fortnite zu spielen? Du liebst Fortnite. Du warst der erste Spieler auf der Welt, der
Ja, wir können jetzt lang.
PS4 in Fortnite gespielt hat.
Ja. Ja, Fabian. Annika, ja.
Nee, da schaue ich ja verstanden, das sind seine Videos nicht mehr. Und das meine ich ernst. Hä?
Mann, Teile.
Nein. Ja, ich habe eh keinen Bock mit dir zu spielen. Ich schaue nie wieder Standard-Skill an, weil er nichts Fortnite spielt mit mir. Nee, und das meine ich ernst. So, und dann als Kopfball.
Trap going in there is definitely going to de-incentivize Skite and Vato to go in there. We can see Mark and Alphen up top. Wolfies and Rojo down below. They take out takeoffs. And now it's all time to go right down. They know it's the situation, but Skite gets taken out right away by Wolfies, and they're still fighting. Vato goes out. Rojo and Wolfies take the win there, and they're still going. There's only 2 players remaining. It's a 1 versus 1 right now. Rolling Speedo and Smoke Mark and Alphen are going to come up from the top and clean up house.
That was insane. They ended with 77 points. That extra 3 points would have probably helped get them to that 80 threshold and just help build that lead. But this is absolutely insane. I think, well, for now, we got to send it back in the studio. We got to meet up with Pookie. We got to see how things are going. So, Pookie, let's send it your way.
Thank you so much, Zeke. I am here in the studio. Those games are absolutely wild. EU is, like always, not disappointing, that is for sure. But I am joined with my good friend Sundown. He has got some clips for us. I know you got a little bit of Stompy. Can't wait to see that. Show us what you got.
Yeah, let's actually jump in right here with some of the duos who have been popping off so much today in the last block. First off, we have the VAR duo of Refscar and Hackscore being able to put a ton of work on the mid-ground. So first, you can just see catching the players who are trying to rotate through, putting the legendary infantry rifle to work, finding Comey there. But watch what happens on the rest of the mid-ground tower. It's one thing we talked about, being ready to fight at all times. Catches Booth right there, zero ping, won't save you as Refscar. Then immediately edits around, checks another angle, gets the cleanup on Idrikil. That wasn't his knock, but the materials that he ends up getting from that was huge. But Hackscore is then covering the other side, able to get the other part of the Valhalla Vikings duo, and now they're going to work. Fishing, one of the best players in the world, going down the backside. Brilliantly done, and Hackscore picking up another one on the Impact Fixie, dragging his way into the top, but wasn't able to close it out. Tux now, on the other hand, was a one-man wrecking crew here. Just watch him going to work on the backside of the storm and putting the combat shotgun to work. I mean, for me, you can tell he's got adjustments there with how Tux is just lasering people, and then that shot was so good, catching Nipsey in shadow form as he dropped down around the side, and he wasn't done yet. Again, we've talked about the power position that is the high ground when you're able to work from top down, close the bottom of the store, and Tux and Vorin just close out here, making sure he's faced through the floor to get Edwin. Now, we've seen a duo trying to qualify. Here's a duo who has already qualified and are potentially one of the best of the best in the world for this part of the competition. Now, got the trade off there. Shinken gets the revive onto Stompy. He's sitting currently at 4 elims. They're on 6 right now, but let's start counting. Because Stompy is going to go to absolute work, and this is just catching people in rotations and being aware. The quick double right away pushes them up to 8, and that was Melside too on the back side of it. Now they're up to 11 because Shinken was able to go to work, but the revive on Stompy ends up being the difference because he's able to finds Mashus right there. Now up to 12 as a duo. Let's see Shinken go down on the backside there. So Stompy is just going to continue being a one-man wrecking crew on the target up to 13 as a duo. Heavy snipes his way in, doesn't slow down and continues pushing the pace, picks it up there, but unfortunately wasn't able to close out for the victory round. Stompy putting on a clinic, showing why he's able to contest for the very top. Now, as we talked about, the queues are closed, but we're not done yet. We want to see those final matches and what's left, Booze.
For sure. Now, interestingly enough, I had the opportunity to speak with Stompy the other day. You know, we exchanged a little bit of back and forth about how he's feeling for World Cup. Him and Shinken are practicing 12 hours a day. They are going into this hard, and from what we've seen, it certainly shows. But you know what? I can't wait to get into more games. Zeke and Bala, let's hear from you.
Pookie just flexing all over us right now, talking about how she's talking with Shinken and Stompy. That's cool. I also talk to players. So it's not.
Don't cry on us now, but
it's already cried 6 times. That's a 6. All right, Fortnite fam, we are back.
We're tuning in with Pyro and Destiny's Jesus right here. Destiny's Jesus is definitely somebody that's been on a lot of people's radar because, you know, we all learn from this guy. Everybody's watching his videos because every single day it feels like he's coming out with a new technique on how to box fight or how to build fight. His partner Pyro right now, they're slightly split. See if they're going to be able to find any picks on the way in. Do find Wolfie. It's not Wolfie that we saw from the other game. So just to keep that in mind right here.
So let's reiterate, we did not look at standings, but we know like 77 points is the highest we've seen at this point, right? So for Pyro and Destiny's Jesus, especially with maybe the last few games, they've got to make some really big things happen. Right now, Pyro is saying, don't even worry, fam. We've got you. We're going to pick up eliminations left and right. They've also hit the first round of placement points. This is going to be super, super beneficial for them.
When I said they're split, I didn't actually realize that they're not even split at all. They just kind of have 2 different angles here that they're approaching. Finding picks right here. Destiny Jesus looking down that south side and Pyro looking over towards the east. And finding those eliminations, not only does he have those, but he's feeling comfortable because he's finding those picks, getting the Cypher, all of that, and getting himself healthy. But he has 2 Rip-to-Goes as well in the inventory as Carnage is to go for Heavy Snipe. Oh, that is why you kind of need to make sure that you're not going into these situations, these end games, with low white HP, with low health, because if you don't have any bandages or anything like that, you're not going to be able to recover that without Cypher. Right? If somebody's carrying by chance some stink bombs, and they realize, hey, I can go ahead and throw this on this box and get 2 people ticking down at the same time, that's value from that stink bomb, and also finding elimination because he was low, too low to even survive even a tick from it.
And I mean, they made it very known that what they were trying to do, right? The first Heavy Snipe came in and blew the wall out. At that point, you got to build a wall, re-edit your ramp, and then just like move a 1x1 space back, right? A grid space back, because you know what they're trying to do, and you've got to expect. I did not expect that. Another stinker here, and this is what I'm talking about. Right? You already see the players trying to get away from the stink bomb there, but in a similar fashion, you got to be ready. You got to think, what could they have at their disposal? They're trying to pressure us right now, especially in this position.
Ich hatte 7 Hilfe.
Right now, Carnage is going to look to reposition. Pretty good spot right now on this far side of the circle. Now we're just waiting.
Heavy Snipe comes in, the tree's in the way though, and I don't think there's a player directly in this box. He might have thought, because the tree was in the way, that
they were hiding behind.
Yeah, exactly. When the sound is there, you kind of hear the sound cues, you know that there's something coming, but regardless, oh!
There's the player!
He comes in from the side. They both headed into the same box from different walls, and that's going to be the end of probably both of those duos, unfortunately, because they're fighting right on the edge of zone and with walls ahead of them as well. They're not going to be able to make their way out that easily, and a lot of players are going to realize exactly what's going on. But look how high Vapors and Yuto are right now, and we're already down to 12 teams in this game, Zeke.
I mean, they've got the builds, they've got a flint knock, they've got a chug splash, just a single one if they need to get crazy. They drop down in the box, the first shot misses, 125. And Land gets destroyed there. The chug splash gonna help top him off. Unfortunately, look, his dual partner Yuto up above has been dropped, so now it is all on the shoulders of Vapor. They have 2 eliminations between them, so they've got to chain together more if they're looking for more points. Thankfully, the Storm goes back the opposite way.
And look who actually took high ground from them. It's Destiny's Jesus and Pyro, who we sucked in with before. He still has that GL that he's been using the grenade launcher from range, finding himself one before, and they're actually going to find another Rift to go. Not going to be that useful right now, but that GL is going to be, because they are having a free roam range right here up on top. They can throw this GL down in so many different cracks. And did he get it in that wall? Yes, but it's not going to find any damage. Actually, somebody fighting for height right now, but with those build fight tactics that he's been working on, he's going to go ahead and crank right back up and not let him take it. But in this case, does end up taking it. The chug splash coming in. Ooh, a Rift play. This is kind of all or nothing. They might land on Alpha and Blaster right here. No, they're going to go out and scoop back out of the zone, but no, Pyro lands, and Destiny's Jesus didn't, so a little bit of miscommunication right here. Is Destiny's Jesus going to be able to maybe knock this out? Because I know Pyro has something. He does find Blaster, so is he going to actually take this team on head-to-head right now and possibly put themselves in position to win this game? Destiny's Jesus making his way right back up, and this fight is for all the marbles. The spam coming in from below, and that's going to be the end of Blaster and Alpha. Pyro and Destiny's Jesus took the high ground.
This is so huge. All he had to do was buy the time for the Siphon to come through, and that's exactly what he did. Look, Alpha dropped all the way down. He was like, look, you know what? That entire fight is lost. And now Destiny's Jesus and Pyro can rejoin. Down below, Pablo is going toe-to-toe with Alpha. And look at this, Suicide Mark as well. He gets traded out. Now Pablo is in a 1v2.
I think actually Destiny Jesus just knocked a few GLs down there, but he falls to his elimination right there. He gets knocked, and right now Pyro's making the slow climb down. It's now a 1v1 as Alpha goes down, but Pyro takes out Vapor, and the Victory Royale puts them at 63 points to win that game.
Man, so don't forget, we've seen quite a bit of points. They very well could be contesting for top 5 right now, and that would be absolutely huge. But of course, more games, more action to tune into. We're over by Tomato Temple. Look at it. All hail your tomato overlords.
Well, right now, just a recap of where we're talking about in terms of standings. You said that the highest points that we saw was what, 77?
77.
So
that's the highest we've seen so far.
Destiny Jesus and Pyro at 63 or maybe 64, depending on how that updates with that last elimination. They could be pushing up towards not necessarily qualification range just yet, but another one of those performances, and they very well could be. Remember though, the queues are closed, so that could have been the last game that we just watched there. Here, Mitro takes out Mitro, and his teammate Vermax is already down, so Mitro himself did not have his dual partner Mongrel, but we already know their prowess. They've, you know, it seems as if they've qualified multiple times for duos already, Mitro and Mongrel, so they're not worried about that. Obviously not getting a chunk of that $2 million spread across all the regions. But again, talking about the scores and the standings, right now you can see Frenzy and Ads are already kind of tied with that last team that we saw.
Yep.
So possibly
and if I remember,
through this game.
If I remember, it was Stomping Tushinkin, right, that had 77. If I remember correctly. It's honestly probably so much action.
If that's an assumption that we're trying to make, I think we can go ahead and make that comfortably.
I think what I was also going to say in regards to that is that don't forget they've already qualified, right? So even if they're sitting at that #1 spot, that shifts the entire standings down, all right? So not 1 through 4th that are going through, but instead 2 through 5th be going through. But right now,
and that's a story in and of itself.
Yeah.
Stompy and Shinken, they've done it every single duos week. They have done it every single duos week. They have not missed a beat on making sure they're up in the top spots every single weekend.
Man, to get and be able to like get that kind of practice, right, and to keep doing it. One thing would be like, we qualified, we hit, you know, the very next week we hit first, all right, then we've hit at least like maybe top 10. But no, these guys are hitting top 3 back to back.
Stink bombs right now, Zeke. I think he's going to get both from this last one. I think this is going to do it. I think his HP is going to be gone, but no, not throwing it all the way ahead, but he's going to find the AR shots regardless. So Ghosty and Jameef falling to, you know, he actually still has 2 more stink bombs right here. That's crazy.
And don't forget, these get more valuable as the circle closes, right? Because remember, this is the space of, or I guess the stink cloud is a little bit bigger than a 1-by-1. So as that circle continues to close, you can really be putting some people in really tough spots, especially when you're basically just saying, the entire play space you're in right now, boom, I have dealt it, you're smelling it.
Classic Zekeism right there. He always gets the last laugh. But moving into the rest of this game right now, it's Zeke and Narcos on high ground.
You know, I really got to reach out to Zeke here because we have the same name, and every time Sundown is on broadcast and says his name, I look and I'm like, wait, did you say my name? Does he need me? Oh, never mind. It's just Zeke and Narcos. Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, always on high ground, always winning games, something that Zeke is not familiar with.
Dang it, I was going to make the joke. You beat me to the punch.
But Narcos and Zeke are certainly familiar with it as they take high ground and hold it against Kaspersa, who tried to take it from them. Narcos has qualified in solos, not just yet in duos, but we'll see here if the Polish duo can do it, can qualify for New York. They're at 57 right now. We saw a couple of players that were ahead of them in terms of points in this game.
Right.
So everything matters. Remember, every interaction counts. I think he has another opportunity here to knock down, but no, they're not going to take it. They're going to decide time to back off. But as that branches out more and more, hold on, because Hadkos falls directly into somebody's box, and I think that's going to be the end. Yes, he falls to the zone, because that player takes advantage of the, distraction that he had up on high ground and knocks him out from below. Now it's Frenzy and Ads that I was just kind of referencing in terms of their points. At 66, they take the high ground.
Look at this, 67 points now. They're trying. Now, don't forget, we saw, again, 77 is the highest we've seen so far. They're 10 points in striking distance, and that's if that duo was in the #1 spot. So you've got to think, again, these guys are contesting for top 5. We've seen teams literally sit here and trade places, and if they hit top 15, this would be huge. Lestream, Vato, and Skyt are in this game, Paula.
That is huge. And they're at 77 as well. So we'll see and update their scores. So just like you're talking about, 77 is that point to beat. Right now, they're going to find another. The cone slide comes in. It's Takeoffs again who goes down, and his teammate Andretta falls to Tux, who is with Borwin. We saw them win the game earlier.
And look, dude, they jump up to 81 points. They hit the top 15. Those first 3 points are so crucial. And look, they're just waiting it out, right? This lobby's going to continue to thin itself out. Zeke, my boy, unfortunately gets picked up, and another round of placements. 83, Bala. 83. They could very well clutch this up and just be the point leaders.
This could be it. Skyt and Vato could finally, after 10 weeks of trying, after 4 duos competitions, all those weekends finally paying off, possibly here for Skyt and Vato. We've seen this exact situation play out in that game that they got all the way towards the top 5 last time, with a lot of eliminations racking up as well. They're playing slow, and they're making sure that they're going to get that ticket to New York.
And if you watch in the top left, Vato, unfortunately, he gets traded out. He's gone down, and he gets picked up by FaZe Vorwin. And right before that, I was going to say Mongrel gets picked up. Skyt's dropped down to 18 HP. In his mind, he's probably thinking, this is his moment to shine in the sun, down to 8 HP. He has to make something happen. Even just hitting top 5 would make the difference right now, Bala.
And I don't even think all these builds are his. You can see as soon as he got into the next box, he frantically makes... No! But it's Tux who took out Vato earlier. He uses the stink bomb at the opportune moment and takes out a few more. That's 7 eliminations total. Vorwin's still up, though, so he still has an opportunity to make this work.
Oh man, eliminated 6 there, just on the cusp, but it's okay. Again, that's now the highest point value we've seen, even evade ads. Look at this, 75 points right now. These numbers are getting out of control. Vorwin down on the lowest ground, he's gonna be dropped.
He's gotta break through metal, though.
He's gotta find Sensei, look up. He's gotta get Sensei, he's gonna drop down in front. No! He does not get the trade out. Ads right now has the health advantage. Frenzy and Sensei, look at them both. They're so hurt that the storm is continuing to tick them out, and it is not enough as Ads and Frenzy get the victory royale.
Man, Zeke, we're getting 79 points.
I can't
and
do
that
this.
could be 80, because I know that that elimination counter is slow to update towards the end of these replays. It could be enough, and that could even be possibly their last game, or they could have gotten one more in before these queues. I mean, Zeke, this is coming straight down to the wire here in Europe.
Oh my goodness, man. Of course it would be like this for the final week. It's been like this every, periodically we've seen moments like this where we've seen players edged out at the very end.
And I gotta, Vato and Skyt, man.
Yes.
Out in 6th place in that game, not quite making it to 5th place. That could come back to bite them. in a terrible fashion. It could be heartbreaking for them, but we go ahead and catch up with them later in the standings. We'll see where they all end up. Here, Thomas and Kluja finding one elimination this game, and again, we're looking at the point ranges. 77 was that, but as we saw that last game, they pushed over that 77.
So don't forget, they're at 83 points when we last saw them. So right now, if you're looking at Thomas and his dual partner Kluja, they could very well contest that 83 points that we saw, right? It's only a difference of 6 points. That's making it into top 10. They're at, or excuse me, top 5. With a few eliminations sprinkled in there, man, I do not want to see Sky and Vato get edged out again. They've come so close so many times. This has got to be their week, and you've got to think they're thinking the same thing, right? They're like, it's all come down. We've put everything on the line. We're playing our hearts out. This is our week to qualify. Just keep your head up and keep positive.
And let's not forget about Tux and Vorwin there in that last game as well. Contesting with Sky and Vato, actually taking them out.
Right.
First, Vato ends up getting split, and Tux takes advantage of that. And then the stink bomb coming in at the perfect moment. Sky not having any white heels. We talked about it earlier. So ending up edging them into that top 5 and finding some eliminations on the way too.
Probably kicking themselves, thinking if we'd made that top 5, it would have just helped ensure that our placements were very high. But right now, the current game, Berlof here and his duo partner Artemis Swede, they're in top 15. Don't forget that first round of placement points is great, but they're at the 39 threshold. They've got to make more happen. And don't forget Thomas and Kluja, they're sitting on 77 if I remember correctly. The question would be, who else is in this lobby? What other big names can we scout out?
It's not just big names, but anybody who's up at the top of the leaderboards right now, because as far as I'm concerned, Thomas and Kluja are the subjects of this game as far as we've seen so far. Obviously, everybody else getting the action. Berlof here, we've already seen them pick up one. They picked up another knock. Are they going to be able to find the elimination here? And they're holding them in zone. They're going to actually probably get this. Definitely the knock is going to be confirmed.
Oh, he should have just taken the shots with the AR. He's going to get blue damage numbers over. Here we go. Isla there gets picked up, but oh, man, this is coming down to the wire. This 14 number hasn't quite changed. Top 10 is the next threshold.
Get knocked
out. They're coming down. They got to start building down. Did they drop? Probably
just a little bit of damage there, or started using the glider redeploys. Yes, the rift comes out actually for Berlof, but I don't think he took his teammate Sweet with him. No, see only a little bit of white HP missing, so probably maybe use the shadow bomb or maybe a flint knock or something to save himself from taking the damage. But who's on high ground? He's looking to see, maybe I'm going to make a play right now. No, he's going to decide I want to join my teammate, and Sweet has a perfect hold for him as he edits him down through it. It's Thomas and Kluja on high ground, by the way.
Yeah, this is a game, they need to close this game out, right? Like,
yes.
We know for a fact, 83, again, in case you just tuned in, that was the highest threshold we've seen for points. Kluja and Thomas, they were at 77 not that long ago. They're about to hit top 10, which is another round of placement points on top of any eliminations they picked up along the way. Down below, though, Swede and Artemis Sweet and Berlof, I hope I'm saying that correctly. They're making things happen, right? They've got the 6 eliminations. They want to try and rack up as many as possible, but they are so far behind right now.
And I've got to criticize the use of that second shadow bomb there instead of getting into the box. Maybe a misclick or something, because now he doesn't have the rotation to stay with his teammate Berlof, who does have one more shadow bomb remaining. They're going to have to path in and walk it in.
Right now, again, top 10. Is another round of placement points. Everything is going to slow down. Santo is single, unfortunately picked off right there at the edge, missing out on those points. I want to go back up top, right? I want to see what's going on with Kluja. I want to see their points right now. Berlof, Sweet, he's dropped down to nothing. Anyone could accidentally sneeze in his direction and he can get picked off. Someone finds it. It's Detox who's going to be picked off in the crossfire there. Now Sweet, again, he's ticking. It must be within a stink bomb, and he gets traded out. Berlof does. But Sweet, look, his HP jumps up, so he must have found elimination.
A second before, if that player doesn't come from behind, he actually gets the siphon and probably survives there.
Yep.
So everything coming down to these milliseconds decision. I still haven't seen Thomas. Yes, they finally got one elimination from up on high ground. Sweet starting to use that campfire to its full effectiveness here as the zone starts to go back in the other direction. 5 duos remaining, 7 total players.
Oh, and Thomas gets picked up. That puts Artemis Sweet in the top 5, another round of placement points. So does that mean, that must mean they both have been eliminated? Yes, they are both gone. Right now on the high ground, You've got a player, and everyone else is super huddled together, because don't forget, this play space is just shrinking right now. Stir6, his dual partner Twix is alive. They find Sweet, who gets picked off.
I love the placement of that trap, though, and the quick reaction from Sweet to actually edit his cone in a certain way so he can make it out unscathed, but still, 4 duos remaining. One player drops behind. They're all the same skin for some reason, and Sty6 is going to be able to find him easily. So that duo down on low ground by themselves right now against 2 more players, Nijulian and Oxy right here.
And down below, Styrics and Twix are the only duo left. They immediately shut down Oxy. They're like, one player's pushing us, just let's cooperate, let's shut this guy down, and now they're in a 2v1. Gooden here is going to have the fight of his life, and he's on the 64 points. We've seen a lot of players hovering in that range. This could make the difference if he can find both of these eliminations and the victory royale. 5 points could make the difference. He gets cracked, Bala, down to 23, 13. Oh my God! Oh my God! That was the sickest split knock I've ever seen!
That could have been the sickest split knock I've ever seen, because if he got that elimination and landed, he could have gotten the siphon and all of a sudden forced this into a 1v1 with HP advantage. But unfortunately going to go out into the zone, not able to control himself with the flint knock. Just like Zeke here, a little bit of excitement there from that play.
I'm melting in my chair. I'm just slowly sliding down. I'm trying to collect myself, Fortnite fan, but it's not working right now. Next game, 62 players, 34 duos, still sliding down. 85 points from Rojo and Wolfies? Okay, guys, all right, listen.
So they were slowing down when we last took a look at the standings when I was up there with you, Zeke. They were slowing down. They fell out of that first place. They're starting to creep down to that 6th, that 7th. We were talking about whether their games have been played yet, but climbing back in a strong fashion here. They've got one more game, and at 85 points, if they make this a big one, they could break 100 and almost guarantee themselves a spot to New York.
They have shifted gears, shifted mindset, and have said, we need to punch our tickets. We need to be on the stage of the World Cup Finals in New York City. Right now, they've got 3 eliminations between them. Don't forget, top 15 is the round of placement points. They are halfway there. They've got to play this smart. They've got to find these few eliminations, like this one player roaming around. Oh my God! Elite gets picked off, another elimination heading their way. And look at this, they're just looking to confirm eliminations, beam players as they can, while being as safe as possible, because look at all the resources they've got available to them. Shadow bombs, chug splashes, the combat, minis, they've got it all. They're looking to make this, Bala.
It's kind of crazy. I actually thought that he had an infantry rifle in his hands, but no, it's actually a heavy AR, which you don't see used too often anymore because of the effectiveness of that infantry rifle at long range, but you can't, you got to take what you get, and maybe he even prefers the heavy AR, because it does have, you know, a bigger clip in it.
Yeah.
Not doing quite as much damage, but in the top left right now, we're not only looking at the thresholds reaching top 25, but Mr. Savage goes down in this game. Not too consequential because he's already qualified for New York, but that's another hint that they're probably not going to be making it up there and taking those top 4 spots.
That's right. Don't forget they've qualified, which means right now they're playing for money, which is great. So you got to think they're trying to find eliminations. Den Magis Pulse, by the way, someone tweeted at us. That means the magical sausage. You're welcome. The more you know. More shots coming out here from Ollie is cracked. He did not manage to crack that player's shields, but the shots were pretty on point, and he's, of course, 761 above the damage threshold for the Storm. There, Motor, for just a brief moment, peeks out, and Ollie finds and secures it.
I think he might have also hit Motor's teammate, Ferox.
I believe he did.
As he jumped out of that box, I'm looking at Wolfies and Rojo right now, carpeting their way towards the zone. They're going to go ahead and decide to launch pad. They use that, you know, tarp for a second just to get ahead of everybody else, make sure they're not gonna, you know, hit their heads and waste the launch pad effectively. But here, Benji using those chug splashes to immediately get back to max health, starting his turtle forward.
And the fish out of water here. I mean, the duo of these, you know, we kind of, it's funny that you said we may not see them in top 10, but look at the point threshold.
I know.
They said, look, Bala, we're savage, we're Benji Fishy, bro. Don't put us out. By the way, four rounds in the AR, only 4.
And Zeke finds actually 2 players who didn't edit their box close. He's going to take out Black. And his teammate as well, Stoico, going down, and that's probably the end of their run in the World Cup.
Benji literally just said, Zeke, I don't care about these 4 AR rounds. Watch me pick up the double, and now I'm sitting on 300. Check me again, bro! I'm a fish out of water! I can breathe in fresh air! That was, in case you didn't see that was a thing at the Summer Block Party, which made me laugh, by the way. Go back and watch those little interstitials. They're fantastic. That's what I was referencing. But 86 points over on Wolfsies and Rojo.
Yeah, he's actually in trouble here as the Shadow Bomb. This player actually doesn't realize, though, he's going to take a nice shot onto Mawaka, sorry. As Wolfie's making his way forward, Rojo is split, but we've seen this situation before. Again, reaching towards that 90 points right now. One more elimination is going to do it, but Rojo goes down, and it's all up to Wolfie's right now.
All right, here we go. So Rojo gets picked up. But now, look, they've just hit that 90-point threshold. So let's think about this, right? If Wolfies could clutch it up by himself, he'd have to at least get the Victory Royale, which is another 7 points, and at least 3 eliminations. There's still 10 players. It's doable.
To get 100, is that what
to break the triple digits. Yeah, I want to see the 100. I want to see it because you know they want to see it too.
I mean, based on what scores I'm seeing already spread out throughout the map and the games that we've seen, I think he's already probably clinched it. But you know, he's thinking, I have to perform the best I have ever done here. I have to win this game if I want to make it, because I don't have high ground. I don't have a teammate. I've got to do everything. I've got to take all this responsibility on my shoulder, all the pressure from all 10 weeks, and do it right now, Zeke.
That's right. You got to think they're probably saying, like, just imagine this was you on the stage of the World Cup Finals, right? Imagine you're in that moment. Take everything, all the practice, the long hours you put and dedicated to this game, and focus it and hone it in right now. Wolfies, he's got 3 eliminations. Again, 94 points. If he can find 3 more eliminations, it's not enough. Confetti trades him out and shuts him down in that moment. And now it's coming down to this. It's a 2v1.
Confetti and Toos. It's kind of crazy because we started World Cup in week 1 in semifinals. Toos playing in solos, actually destroying the semifinals, and now here again, ending EU. Is he going to be able to pick up this win? It could propel them up to 71 points.